Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesified server, hanging out in the nether, working on this little project behind us. And today's episode we will be probably jumping around a fair bit. There are a whole bunch of little bits and bobs that I want to do, and so we're going to take care of many of the things here in this episode today on Hermitcraft. Man, I am pumped to be on here, and we're starting off by showing you some of the progress that's been made on this tunnel. Now, you knew this wasn't going to be built in a day, it's a huge project, and I thought I'd just stroll on down here and show you how far it's come along. It goes a long way off into the distance, and I think just a little bit further we'll probably see the nether portal, but I don't want to spend my time walking around because we're not actually going to work on this straight away. This is something that I will come back to if we have time to do today, so I sort of wanted to show you how that is coming along, as it will take us a fair few episodes to complete this project. But when it's done, we're going to be able to travel so fast over to other mesa. It is going to be very, very important. But for this episode, we will be starting off in the nether because a couple of episodes back, I started work on a little mini hub over here, and I didn't finish it. I just sort of ran into a bit of a brick wall, and I feel like I'm in the building mood today, which is always a good mood to do a challenge like this and figure out what it is you want to build. So let's drop down here, and if we hold, well, I was going to say hold shift, you'd hang on to the ladder there for a second. But anyway, we've fallen all the way down, and it's a good thing you don't die from that, actually. That's something I haven't thought about. If you don't position yourself right, you won't be against the ladders, as you saw just there. But anyway, this is as far as we got with this little project. We have built our blaze farm over here, and I was reading my comments, and no one noticed it. I did. I saw that I've forgotten to put the cyan clay going over the top there, and I don't think anyone else actually noticed it. So a small little thing I'm going to take care of that you won't even know about, and we'll bring it a little bit further along and connect it to this hub. But this is the focus of our attention right now. I need to finish this design and make this area work. So I've got an idea for the room now. It kind of hit me when I was just thinking about what is it we need to make this room pop, and then lava came to mind. Now lava in the nether is so going to work with these blocks that we've got so far. No problems at all. And at the moment I've just run out of some of these magma blocks, and also the sea lanterns. I think I'm going to be one short. As you can see, I've sort of expanded the size around the edge here. So this is as big as the hub is going to get. And yeah, look, we're missing a block. Anyway, let's pop up out of here. And yeah, we're going to put some lava in on the walls, and it's going to make it look real cool. And then you can see that our tunnel is going to nicely line up with the back of this room. But the room's going to be a lot bigger as well. A lot of this is going to be opened up because it's going to go higher up. We're going to have a nice big ceiling. But the first thing I need to do is get some lava, and I am prepared. I brought with me some buckets. I got some fire resistance potions as well. And I do believe that there is a lava lake nearby, so it shouldn't take me too long to get this set up, and then I can show you what it's going to look like. It's a good thing we're at the blaze farm, actually, because I need some more magma blocks, and you can go exploring to get some. Of course, you can buy some from Ren's shop in the Brown district, but you can also craft these as well, which is something it's easy to forget. So with some blaze rods, you can make blaze powder and slime balls, makes you some magma creams, and then you can use those to make yourself the magma blocks. So around the outsides of this room, we are going to have whatever these are called, and yes, they alternate, so it's not truly symmetrical, but I like that. I think it looks good, and these are just about the right height to elevate up the room. Now on this side over here, you'll see something is a little bit different. Just haven't prepared it for putting the lava in. So we've got the same materials behind here as well, because the lava don't take up the full block. You can always see little peaks of other blocks as well. And there you go, that's how it's going to roll. So technically this room is now a little bit dangerous because you could walk into one of these bits of lava, which I'd strongly advise you don't. But yeah, that's it. And do you know what I was thinking when I was doing this? It'd be so nice to have more liquids in this game. They're a really cool thing to work with because you can't just choose wherever they're going to go. You have to sort of work with the flow of the liquid itself, and then it animates, and this one emits light, for example. You know, more liquids in this game I think would be really cool. But there you go, that's one half of the room done. And that is the other side done. And now we add a trim of andesite going around the room. And then above the andesite we put in some red nether bricks. And now even more red nether brick. But here is where we bring in the secret ingredient, which is going to be redstone blocks. I think these look so nice next to the red nether brick. I'm not prepared to build this. Let's pop up like that. There you go. Yeah, these are going to look real nice, and we're going to make sure that there's a bit of depth in this ceiling by dropping them back a little bit. So they're going to go up here, and they look real cool alongside it. So let's just place in a few more blocks. I didn't think building this would be so hard, but of course, yes, it's all the way up there. At least we've got a little bit in place to look at. Yeah, it looks awesome, doesn't it? Just that little bit alone, you can see how well those two colours go together. So anyway, we're going to fill all of this in and then take another look. And there we go. Do you know what? It's barely noticeable. You probably never sort of see it unless you were looking up at the top of the screen as you walk through here. But when you do look up, man, that is ever so nice. I like those, and we're probably going to put a few more of those in as well, because we've got to make the transitional like elements of the room from the room to the tunnel, whatever sort of design it is. And when I originally thought of this, I reckoned it would look good here as well. So we could put some redstone blocks on the side here. However, on the opposite side, it's going to be nether brick, which won't look quite the same. Okay, how is that as a transition? Not so bad. I feel like the ones on the bottom here don't quite work, so maybe just at the top is where we'll have these. And let's grab that so we can place it underneath. And over on this side, I want my block back. There we go. Do you know what? It doesn't actually really do too much being there. I may have to think about doing something else, but otherwise we're practically done here. Of course, I need to extend this all the way over to the front. And one last little bit of detail that I'm undecided about was just to throw in some cobblestone walls up here, because everything is a bit flat and square at the moment, as it understandably is in Minecraft. So with these in each of these corners here, we just take that away by the tiniest amount, and I'm not really sure if that works or not. Kind of transitions a little bit from the andesite, but I don't know. I really don't. Either way though, this room is kind of finished for now. Maybe we'll come back and tweak something, but there you go. I'm going to just finish putting in the carpets and the packed ice here, and then this thing is ready to go. Oh my, look at that build right there. I believe that entire roof is made out of quartz. Scar is a madman. He's a madman. But moving on from what we've been doing, because that's now all finished, we're going to fly down here through the White District and follow this path into the side of the mountain here. I need more space to do this properly. There we go. Oh, look at that. Wow. And I had to hit my head. Well, it's fine, because I wanted to stop around here anyway to show you what False has been doing. So there is a path leading into this place, and there are actually spaces to advertise. Now, I believe it was the last episode, or maybe the one before that, I forget, that I was hanging out with Ren and False and Iskow, and we were actually discussing this, and basically what she means is you can hire out this area to advertise your shop in the district. And we've opened up the gold shop. I'm not sure that everyone knows about it, and we should probably go on a advertising campaign. So in a moment we're going to come back and we're going to spruce up one of these areas, make it look very, very cool, and then we'll go about advertising the gold shop, because I think I made 9 diamonds more since we've last checked, and that was on a stream. So I'll have another check in a moment, but I haven't been shifting as much gold as I would have liked. But anyway, what we're going to do next in this episode is work on the next floor of the banner shop. Again, as I go to say, it's not a shop, the banners here are free. And again, in a previous episode, we made a whole bunch of banners which we want other people to have access to, so that they can clone these and that they can get the letters that they need for the things that they need to do with the banners. You know, convenience. Convenience is the idea with this project right here. As I was walking over here, I could literally hear myself saying no more sales. So we got 9 diamonds from this chest, but check it out. Another 9 in that one right there. This one has 8. Then up here, somewhere around here, we have a few more as well. So 21 diamonds. I'm wrong. The gold really is flying off the shelves, and I need to do some more AFKing over at the gold farm if we're going to advertise this place, because of course we can't just open it up with an empty stock. Well, it's already open, but you know what I mean. We're going to have more customers. So I've been out and about doing various things, going for a cycle. I do enjoy my cycling, and you can see I've been away from the computer for quite some time because we have 230 levels of XP. It is extraordinarily easy to get that many. Now, I don't know what the best place to pick out here is, but I think I'm just going to pick the one that we're closest to, which is apparently this one right here. Of course, I've already spoken to False, but, you know, straight away I got a bit of a complaint I can't get in here. I'm joking, of course. That's to keep other people out. We will temporarily temporarily break this, remove the sign over here, and start filling this thing up with the gold blocks. And of course I've got haste around here, instant mine, fantastic. Question is, do I actually want to make it that big though? Maybe I just want to place the blocks right here, right? And I was thinking, of course, how are we going to advertise this with gold, none other than gold. But I've also brought some yellow hardened clay with me as well, because I think some of these blocks make the point, and making the roof and the ceiling gold as well might just be a little bit silly. Now this is just the beginning. We are simply just going to fill this in so we can clearly say that we're selling gold, and then we'll put a few other things in this area as well. But I just want to find out, how does this look when you're passing by if you've got gold on the backs and then yellow clay at the top and bottom? Okay, not terribly impressive. I think we would have a light source in here as well. Yeah, okay, let's go around to the front. I'm thinking sand at the bottom might look pretty cool, and we can't even see what's at the top. So if we put sand at the bottom, it's like the yellow clay isn't even there. I mean, you can't even really like creep in and see what's up top, you know, because unless you want to go around breaking blocks, there's no real way to see. So I might actually just revert that and not even bother changing the roof. So looks like I'm going to grab me some sand. We're going to get some item frames so that we can put some gold on the walls. We need signs for information, and I need to be creative and think of a few other things to put in here. Armor stands and gold armor comes to mind, and I'm sure there's a few other things I can think of as well. So check out all of these pretty golden things that you can make in this game. And I know you're thinking, Asuma, you are so smart. You have been playing this game for so long. You just remember it all, didn't you? Well, the answer is no. I had to go look this up. I couldn't remember a thing. Like, I know golden carrots. We ate most of those last season. We ate thousands of them. And yeah, apparently my memory here is just awful. Anyway, I think it was 9 items in total that can go into item frames. I've also put that deliberately in the middle so that we can go and place them like this. That's going to be an additional 4 on either side. I think what we'll do is we'll leave a little bit of a gap like that, so it's not all just, you know, grouped up into one area, and then all of these items can go in there. So maybe the tools go in the middle. I think there are 5 of these in total, and then we can put some of the other things on the outside, and that is pretty cool. I like it. Maybe I should probably put some of them higher and lower as well. We can tweak it. We can tweak it later. And we've got a clock as well. I can't help but feel that should be like at the front in the middle. So yeah, let's just throw all these things down, and then I'll tweak it all later. So as well as items to go in item frames, we've got a pressure plate. We'll put that down over here. We are going to put down, let's say, a block over on this side, have some rails going like that. And I think this will look better powered, you know, like the gold's gold and the red has nothing to do with the gold, but it looks better powered. So as well as that, we've also got, yeah, a few more items for the item frames, and I didn't even think of putting an ingot in the item frame, which is something we'll do. So we're sort of just left with the armor stand now. Okay, that to me, that's got the vibe that I'm going for right here. I feel like you guys will come up with some amazing ideas for other things to put in here. Probably the occasional non-gold thing would be okay, but I think that works out really well. And I was placing that at the back there and wondering if you could actually see it. Now if you hold down shift and walk up to the slab, you can see a little bit of the ceiling there. So we're actually going to change that alone, these first 2 blocks, to yellow clay, and then this thing is done. So just in case you were wondering what the signs at the front said, don't worry, we'll have a little read together. Simply, Asuma's Gold Store, located North Brown District. So that is actually that direction, which is north. And 64 ingots for 1 diamond. You know, this was nice and neat, and I didn't feel like I wanted to squeeze it in on those signs, so there's another one right there. And the signs kind of pop out. But anyway, I was chatting to False. I was thinking that we would throw her a stack of diamond blocks for this. Diamond blocks? Got to be careful what I say. Don't hold me to that. I meant gold blocks. But yeah, anyway, it gave me an idea because she's streaming right now, and I thought it would be funny to just go, well actually no, what I thought was I'd go give her the blocks, but then she's somewhere else, so I thought, well, I could just leave them in a big pile next to one of her builds, and then that gave me an idea, you know, the gold advertisement, it's okay, it doesn't really jump out with gold though, does it? And I was thinking, what if we just like dumped a load of gold on the ground, like literally, I think the only spot is right here. What is that going to look like? Is that going to look reasonable just to have a big splodge of gold over here? We can of course then put some signs on it that say, you know, check the gold shop for prices or something like that. So let's throw a few down here. You know what? I was going to throw down like the full stack, but we don't have to do that. So Let's just plop that down for now. Does that grab your attention when you go past? Does that say, oh, gold? Because that's what it should say. I think I just need a couple more blocks here and then we'll put some signs on it. Okay, hopefully they sort of signify arrows. And I like that. It jumps out. Do I have a spare torch? I should probably put a torch on the top of it. You're definitely going to walk past that now. And the first time you see a pile of gold just floating around on the side, you will check it out. And you'll know that the shop is here, just in case any of the hermits didn't. So anyway, let's go down there and let's stock this thing up. Well, actually, I don't really need to do that on camera. We're just going to set aside some of this for false and convert the rest to ingots. I think I know who our customer was. As I literally just walk out of here and look up, I'm like, oh, gold blocks, there you go. That's who's been buying them, it's Ren. Awesome. So I've been a busy bee. As you can see from my XP levels, I've been caught up doing all sorts of other things and AFKing on the server, and I come back down here to stock up once again, and what do you know, another 9 diamonds. These things are flying off the shelf. However, we are not done with our advertisements. We're going to do some more advertising later on in this episode. I would love to know if the person who brought those diamonds saw the gold blocks. Anyway, we're finally going to work on the room that I talked about down the bottom here, and it's actually going to be quite similar to the room just below here. So if we go down and have a look, it's the ceiling that I want to sort of take to the next room, and I love the way the colours go in this room. You know, they sort of match the wood on the in-between, so I was thinking about that, and I've come up with some clay blocks that we can use with the purple and sort of take a similar design to this to the purple colour. So it's taken me some time. We have dug out this area down here, and it's crazy because it just seems to squeeze into between two other builds. We've got something that False says over here. I think it's like a polar bear sanctuary, and then on the opposite side I believe that these two redstone blocks are going to be powering some rails from a project that we did recently. Yeah, iron blocks. I know what's behind here, and we haven't broken anything, thank goodness. Yeah, so that is the smeltery area, you know, that we did for Ren, so that's what that is. Let's focus on what we're supposed to be doing right now, which is putting in some of the blocks for the ceiling. So we're going to have strips that are 3 wide coming out, and they will lead to something at the end. We will put some pillars down either side, and then that creates a little 3 wide area for a chest and some banners that you can look at and sort of indicate which one you want to pick up, because there are going to be a lot of them in here. But I do think maybe I've made this room a little bit big, but we will sort of figure that out right now. So we're going to have these things go out that are 3 wide from the center, and then we're going to have our slabs in between. So this is sort of like what we did just upstairs, except we're using different colors. So we got purple again. So then what we're going to do is put in some magenta, and the magenta is going to go in this area right here. Now this is also going to be 3 wide going all the way out to the end, so it will come out, you know, down there, and there'll be another bunch of pillars and another section, and then what we'll do is divide it up once again with more purple slabs. Pretty predictable, right? And that has actually gone a little bit different to what I expected. Well, here's the thing, this middle bit has like an extra bit coming out, and we could continue to do that here, so we could move some of those slabs back and add in another one, or we could leave it like that. So this would then come out again 3 blocks wide in each direction, so it would start going over here, and we can do the same thing on this side, and then that would actually indicate the corner of the room right there. So it looks like I might have dug out a lot more space than I needed to. Now if we choose to add this little like bulge here again, so we would go 2 blocks there, then our, is that right? Yeah. Then this bit would start a little bit further back, and it would still sort of mean that they're in the same place, but then maybe we would carry that bulge on again. So something like that, then another 4 blocks here brings it to what it already is. So this will go further back, and I think I can't help but feel this isn't quite how I calculated it, because we've got this big space in the corner that looks like it might not get used. Anyway, that's what we're going with. It looks okay. I am sort of wondering, is this going to look better if you're a little bit lower down? Because that's something to consider. Where is the player going to see the ceiling from? I feel like this height is just fine, and of course this will get digged up when we put a proper floor in this room. Well, that's the entire roof put in now. Doesn't look too remarkable yet. There's a lot more to be done here. Starting to wonder if being at this height right here... Yeah, look at that. Come on now. you see so much more of the purple slabs, we can call them that, and yeah, it just pops out a little bit more than when you're at this height, doesn't it? So looking at the room now, I kind of feel like maybe a little bit of depth would have been nice on these walls, but it will do. I like the colour theme. It's really nice to actually work with the purple blocks, because of course I made the shop and then hardly anyone has brought any because they're not particularly great for building. Anyway, the floor will be next. The one thing that I've noticed now is the lighting, because we've got all these random torches around the place, so it's another thing that we got to consider when doing this, is how we're going to light everything up. I have no idea what the floor is going to be made out of. I was thinking birchwood planks might come into play, but we'll have to see. And I'm going to go around and put down some torches at the back here, because now we've got like a little tunnel going around the back of our room, although I don't think that'll ever be used for anything. It's just a good idea to light this up so mobs don't spawn in it. So I mentioned earlier that the floor was going to be lower because the ceiling looked better from it, and I dug away the floor, but of course then we've got to build it back up again, so it's got to go down one more block, and I've sort of been designing how all of this is going to come together. Got no idea what's going to go in these corners at the moment, but as you can see, it's sort of coming down by one block with these purple stairs, and I've got a really cool idea which I'm going to squeeze in here, and I don't think is particularly necessary for this build, but something that you could take and run with one of your builds, and that is to put a trapdoor over the top of a sea lantern, because it kind of takes away the little bits of green, although not when you look at it like that, but looking straight down it becomes a lot more pale, and I think that's cool. And you could do that in the ceiling as well, so I did sort of think about having lights every so often. So let me show you what I'm talking about. We could put some sea lanterns up here. I'm going to rip this out after because we're not actually going to do this. And you can sort of see them a little bit, can't you, as you go around. So if you add some trapdoors like that, you kind of take away the texture a little bit and it becomes a lot more pale. So that is a really nice fixture, but we're going to have them down on the ground in between here, and then we're going to have a grid of different coloured stained clay. We're going to put blue and light blue on the floor, I think, but I want to double check that because we might be getting away from the purple of the room a little bit too much. But our lighting isn't going to come from up here, it's going to come from down below, and I got something pretty cool to do that with. So let's have a look at the floor design. This is something I'm going to say we can change depending on your feedback, but one thing I really like is this trick right here. The lighting for the floor is going to be end rods, and we're simply going to put them inside these little dents that I've made right here. And what I've tested is that you can basically walk over the top of this like it were a normal block, which is really cool. So the lighting can come out the ground, and it's just a little bit different than normal. Now as you look across, it's not too intrusive, it's just like a little bit of detail, and when you walk across this thing, you know, you can't fall into the hole. So that's a really good way of adding the lighting. Then what we're going to have is bone blocks through here, and I was debating what to do when we get to these middle bits, but I think what'll look best is that right there, because then everything else just sort of goes in the direction that makes sense, right? So this is how we're going to do the rest of it. Then when we get to the middle, we're going to have some more purple stairs, which I haven't actually made yet, and I'm not sure how it's going to line up with the middle. I think there's like one block of gap or something like that, and I've placed this one in the wrong spot. These bone blocks are lovely though. They are so easy to get now that we've got that bone farm sorted out, so we'll have no problem filling this in, and I've got plenty of dye for the blue clay as well. I'm almost totally convinced. As I put in the rest of the bone blocks, I'm just thinking this is totally going to work. But I do think the colour scheme of this might change, because looking at that, imagine that all of this, oops, right here was quartz and, I don't know, maybe another material for there. Yeah, with the right colour palette, that would look amazing. So maybe we'll still change this over, but I very much like it. It looks good, the top looks good, the bottom looks good, but maybe they're not quite the same. Sort of, if that makes sense. I'm just rambling now, aren't I? Right, let's get back to building. So this is all that we'll be doing today. I need your feedback on the floor, and there was more I was going to do. I was going to put the actual chest right here. This is what we're aiming to do. Over on the wall, put some banners up, ABC, something like that, so you can see which colour scheme it is, and then each of these sections will have the same thing with a different colour. But sort of running out of time here, so we're going to leave these chests behind. We're going to leave parts of the room unfinished, get it another day. This bit's sort of been sorted out, and I realise now that it needs a light source around here. And just up the top here, I was thinking to fill in all of this space, what we're going to do is have some slabs and then have the purple come up a little bit further, just so it's nice and clean, like when you come down from above. But other than that, we are done here now for today, and there's just one more thing that I want to do this episode. So we are now going to advertise the gold shop. We are going to take it one step further by dropping everyone off who plays on the server a free sample, and everyone has a post box as well, which I don't know actually made these, but they're very useful, and I'm going to drop them off. So I've gone through, got a list of all the active hermits, and made enough gold here. So you can see we've got a little token saying gold shop now open in brown, and then 64 ingots for 1 diamond. It should be pretty obvious that that is a free sample. Because of the length of that, I couldn't really say both of those things and free sample as well. So I thought that that would do. I guess Cleo is next on the list, and Python as well actually, because they're both my neighbours, and we've got Joe over there, and yeah, basically I'm going to visit everyone one by one. And that's the last of it. Jevin's post box, our last destination. He recently tore down his castle over here, which I've got to say is a little bit of a shame. I actually really liked that project. But he decided to change his mind, so now there's sort of like the leftovers of a castle, I guess, and this bridge, and over there you can see some of the... Is it Green District as well? There's a lot of districts. That one's yellow or green, and that one's yellow or green as well. And then over here you got Jevin's little island. Anyway, we have now delivered our advertisements to everyone on the server, so we should be good. We should have some more customers over at the shop. I'm going to go AFK at the gold farm to make sure we keep getting more gold. I do have to spend a lot of time there to get lots of gold, so better get back to it. Anyway, that's going to be it from me this episode. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like. As always, thank you so much for your support, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.